National Guard versus Reserve. What's the deployment truth? Imagine a scenario where a natural disaster strikes or a national emergency arises. Who steps up first? The answer involves understanding the distinct roles and deployment procedures of the National Guard and Reserve forces. While both are vital components of the United States military structure, their deployment protocols and responsibilities differ significantly. The National Guard is a state-based military force that operates under the authority of individual state governors. When a state faces emergencies such as hurricanes, floods, or civil disturbances, the governor can activate the National Guard to assist with disaster relief, law enforcement support, and other emergency services. However, the National Guard can also be federalized by the President of the United States, at which point it becomes part of the active duty military and can be deployed overseas or for national missions. Activation at the federal level involves a formal order, often for overseas deployments or national security operations, and is coordinated through the Department of Defense. Reserve forces, on the other hand, are components of the active duty military branches, including the Army Reserve, Navy Reserve, Air Force Reserve, Marine Corps Reserve, and Coast Guard Reserve. These units are primarily based in the United States but can be called upon to support active duty forces during times of war, national emergencies, or specific missions. Reserves typically train 1 weekend, a month and 2 weeks a year but can be mobilized for longer periods when needed. Their deployment is generally directed by the Department of Defense and the respective military branch, often in support of overseas operations or large-scale national initiatives. The process of deployment for the National Guard differs depending on whether activation is at the state or federal level. State activation is usually quicker and more flexible, focusing on immediate local needs. Federal activation involves a formal process, including presidential orders and coordination with military commands, which can take longer but allows for deployment across the globe. Reserve forces are mobilized through a formal process initiated by the Department of Defense, often involving extensive planning and logistical arrangements. In summary, the key difference lies in the authority and scope of deployment. The National Guard serves as a dual state and federal force, with deployment depending on the level of activation and the nature of the mission. Reserve forces are part of the national military structure, primarily supporting active duty units and capable of being deployed worldwide under federal orders. Both play crucial roles in ensuring the safety and security of the nation, but their deployment procedures reflected their unique statuses and responsibilities.